Perfect. Rags, 0-0 draw here at home today to Shrewsbury. What did you make of the game?
It was a tough game. Obviously, it's a difficult one to evaluate in terms of the scoreline. You know, when you're in it at times, it's like we were obviously expecting, you know, when it got turned around and the wind's howling, then you've got to dig in, and it's very difficult, obviously, to get out your own half. And maybe we expected it to be easier than it was second half, and that was to our detriment. You know, that wasn't ego or anything. It was just maybe naturally you just think you can step on and play a bit more your game, and whether that was down to the conditions or just us as a team, we just didn't click today in terms of the maybe having more of the ball, having more possession in the second half, and maybe it helped them the fact that they knew what was coming a bit more and seemed to handle it. You know, they still had to defend and defend the box well, which they did. So yeah, on the balance of it, probably a fair result.
Yeah, I mean, it must be such a big frustration on a day like today when you have to change up the game plan so much to do with the conditions.
Yeah, that's it. You just have to adapt to the game, and you know, we spoke about obviously the two good results we've had recently. We wanted to make the most of that today, and yeah, it's just becomes very difficult. You know, you don't want to talk about the conditions, but from playing in it, I feel like that's the main talking point really. It just makes everything a bit strange, and even in the second half, obviously you're thinking you can get higher up the pitch and keep them sort of pending a bit more, but you just feel a bit weird in terms of you don't really know where the ball's going to bounce, and the wind might take it one way or the other, and you don't want to get caught. And so yeah, as the game goes on, maybe as a defender you're thinking, well, if we keep a clean sheet, we'll start again next week.
I mean, ultimately with that clean sheet, 2 clean sheets in the last 3, that must feel quite positive.
Yeah, I think it has to be off the back of some of the games we played early on in the season where we were losing a couple of poor goals, and that was ultimately costing us. So we spoke a lot about that, and today was a day for that. You know, we would have loved to have created more chances, especially second half, and then the sort of half chances that they got, we had to deal with, and we did that. So yeah, you never know, but possibly 2-3 weeks ago we could have lost that game, and yeah, I think there's no reason to be too downbeat. You know, what would it be, 6-7 points out of 9? So yeah, we'll just keep it sort of ticking over, and we look forward to the next games.
Yeah, I mean, after the Blackpool and Bristol game, to have now gone 3 games unbeaten since then, and maybe be slightly disappointed at today's game, it shows, you know, how this group's come on in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, the team's obviously had to change a few times. You know, injuries we've had, people coming back, people going out, which is the nature of the game. And yeah, we've had a positive 2-3 weeks. So that's what we have to take forward. You know, going forward, keep what we've been doing well, talk about that, and build on that. And you know, hopefully in the next few games it won't be like it was today, and we can show the best version of ourselves without losing what we've been good at, and that has ultimately got us a result today.
Yeah, I mean, as defensive units, you don't see too many in-game tweaks, usually just how football works, but the last couple of weeks due to injuries, you know, little bits like today, illness last week, again, to have those 2 clean sheets, despite having the different combinations here and there, you must be feeling quite pleased with that.
Yeah, so credit to the players who have had to change sort of last minute or come on as subs. It's difficult, and play 2 or 3 different positions, it's never easy, but you know, fair play to them, and obviously the manager and the coaching staff who have done a lot of work with us recently, as well as what they did beforehand, and we've, you know, it's coming to fruition. But obviously you don't get too ahead of yourself, because you know, football doesn't owe you anything, and the next game is always the biggest challenge, and we look at that as the next opportunity to keep another clean sheet and get a positive result.
Thank you very much.